Hello everyone and welcome to another high-elo game of Age of Empires. Today we're forgetting the sun in its jealous sky as Capoch playing as the red Spanish prepares to take on ACCM playing as the blue Bengalis. Now while the players herd their herdables explore their immediate surroundings and try to go up to Feudal as fast as possible, let's take a look at the Civ matchup we'll be watching today. Now, the Spanish are a paramilitary civilization that loves its gunpowder units. Spanish gunpowder units fire 18% faster, and their unique unit, the Conquistador, is a heavy-hitting, less accurate mounted hand cannoneer with more HP but less range. Now, on the field of battle, in order to help defend these costly units, the Spanish can train missionaries, which are basically mounted monks with less range that cannot pick up relics. Now, before you think that shorter range is some kind of huge disadvantage, know that it may not necessarily be the case, since the Spanish can upgrade both their monks and their missionaries to convert enemy units faster, and can actually upgrade their missionaries to have a small +1 range boost. Now, in order to support their military-industrial complex, Spanish villagers, like this guy, do build structures faster, their blacksmith upgrades cost no gold, and with the April patch being introduced lately, all technologies researched by them add 20 gold to their coffers. Now, why did I call the Spanish a paramilitary organization / civilization? Because their villagers, all of their villagers, can actually be upgraded and enhanced to get 40 extra HP, more armor, and a massive +6 attack boost, which together with sappers does make Spanish villagers very, very good at taking down buildings, castles, towers, and even walls in the late game. Now, opposing our Spanish, we have ACCM in blue as the Bengalis, an elephant civilization through and through. All of their elephant units receive less bonus damage, are more resistant to conversion, and can be upgraded to attack 20% faster, which is awesome because the Bengalis get fully upgraded battle elephants and siege elephants, and their elephant archers also benefit from Parthian tactics. Now, in addition, all Bengali melee cavalry do have a small attack boost against skirmishers, which could help them out in the early to mid game. Now, in order to support these slow, easily converted elephants on the field of battle, Bengalis, their monks come with an extra massive +3 melee and +3 pierce armor, and their unique unit, the Rata, one of the most versatile, but as I always like to say, one of the most hated units in the game, is a chariot unit that can switch between range and melee attacks. The Bengalis, in order to support their military-industrial complex, their town centers spawn 2 free villagers every time the next age is reached, and their villager and monk population can be upgraded to take 10% less population space. The way that works is each one of these villagers, instead of taking up 1 population room, takes up 0.9. So in the late game, or rather late stages of the game, when you have anywhere between 80 to 150 villagers, imagine multiplying that and getting by 0.9 and having that extra space to build even more villagers or to build military if you are so inclined, depending on the kind of strategy you're pursuing. So those are the 2 civs we have today, both of them receiving a little bit of a change in the April patch. We'll see how that change inures to the benefit of either of these players. For now, both of them on 17 villagers apiece. Let's take a look at their bases while they continue building and establishing their settlements and trying to go up to feudal. Capoch basically completely open to the east, to the north, a small forest a little far away from his town center, so no surprise that he's taking the wood to the back. Primary gold nice and secure to the back. Primary stone a little bit exposed in between 2 mountain ranges. We'll see if ACCM decides to make an issue of that. But this base, very, very open. ACCM, a little bit better position, I would say, just by the presence of 2 forests, makes this forward portion easier to wall off. ACCM already claiming the high ground. I absolutely love that. However, the north, the northwest, and the south, basically wide open for him. Primary gold, nice and secure in the back as well. Is this the primary? Primary stone also nice and secure in the back. So overall, I would give the base advantage here slightly to ACCM in the fact that both of his primary resources are to the back position, whereas Capoch's stone is exposed to the front. And if you have watched Players with high elos using the Spanish civilization, you know, like the Portuguese, it is sometimes a rush up to castle to get that castle up. Rather, a rush to castle age to get a castle up and start producing conquistadors. That might be an issue if ACCM decides to put pressure on this pile of rubble / rock, a quarry, whatever the hell you want to call it. 5 little tiles of stone, 1,750 stone. Big construction undertaking here for our red Spanish, who is now moving out with 3 militias across the hot desert sands, heading over to ACCM's base. Before they get there, one last thing, let's take a look at the vision. So he does not know exactly where his opponent is. He is heading up north instead of south. The luck of the draw here, ACCM has already discovered where his opponent is. Both players hitting Feudal Age at roughly the same time. Now let's take a look at the feature of the Spanish. You see the second double bit axe was researched. They went from 30 gold to 50. If you didn't catch that, please do rewind, or you can just wait another 30 seconds for these militia to become men-at-arms and see that new technology upgrade. What do we want to call it? A feature? A bonus? I never exactly know what to call that kind of... I like to call it a feature or a bonus, but let's take a look. 3, 2, 10 gold becomes 30 gold automatically. Man, does that allow you to put on a good amount of early game aggression if you want to build more than 3 men-at-arms. Remember, they cost only 20 gold. And so if you research more and more, you are able to build more and more. Very, very simple and very, very powerful. Archery range already up for our Spaniard as well. Has a skirmisher out. High level meta is such that whenever you show up with men-at-arms, there's always a good possibility that your opponent will go ranged units. Now, in this case, that didn't happen. Spearmen came out, plus town center fire zone here. So Capoch did end up losing all 3 of his men-at-arms, but in case ACCM fought them with archers, he is ready with a small contingent of skirmishers. And take a look. He's carved out a little nook for himself here in the corner. What is this, about 1/10 of the map carved out for him? We'll see how well he defends this, the extremities. Like you guys know, if you've watched my videos, I am not a big fan of these kinds of wall-offs unless you can actually defend the edges, the far reaches of your empire. Other than that, otherwise, you know, good luck to you. You just wasted a bunch of stone, or rather a bunch of wood, walling yourself in only to have your opponent bust their way through. So ACCM still hasn't seen the wall off up here. How much of ACCM's base has Capoch actually seen? Not much. He saw the southern portion. He saw a bit of the northern portion, but really not much. Our Bengali going hunting a little bit off campus. This poor, poor, adorable zebra gets gutted for its meat. And now 3 scouts from our Bengali are already here. Remember, all Bengali melee cavalry units now come with a +2 attack against skirmishers. So again, if you're playing an opponent and who responds to your man-at-arms or militia rush with archers, and you respond with skirmishers to counter those archers, if your opponent is Bengalis, be very, very careful. Oh, he doesn't notice. 1 dies immediately. Oh, sour loss here. ACCM, though, still very much ahead. 5 kills. That was Capoch's first of the game. Those men-at-arms not really accomplishing much. Archery range going up for him as well. Both players starting to bank a good amount of food. ACCM a little bit ahead off the back of 2 more villagers. Rather, I should clarify, 2 more villagers on food. Also 2 more villagers, period. Just to be clear. Because there are some people, every time I make a mistake, they love pointing it out. Okay, a secondary wall off here with houses. Population supplies. Basically identical. 40 for our Spaniard. 41 for our Bengali. Our Spaniard has managed to insert himself into the base, though, with 1 spearman. Gets the high ground on the villager. Oh, now the villager tries to get the high ground on him. Look at this battle of micro here. That is a massive, massive sword that the villager is holding. The spearman has to disengage. The stork sees everything. And here we go. The battle for the high ground again. They're circling around each other. The spearman says, you know what? I've had enough of this. Let's go exploring. And let me see what the hell you have at the back of your base. Let me try to glean what kind of direction you're going towards. At the same time, a second spearman comes out, but runs immediately into another who takes the high ground. Not for long, though. Red spearman taking the high ground, although rather it looks like he's chasing these scout cavalry units. 1 kill for them. No damage done by either player. Let's take a look at their buildings, because both of them are going up to Castle Age now. A blacksmith, an archery range for our Spaniard, who has 3 villagers on stone already. A blacksmith, 2 archery ranges for our Bengali, who will hit Castle Age about 30 seconds ahead of his opponent. No additional villagers being allocated to the stone mines. What is the allocation like? So a little bit, not a little bit, double the villagers on gold for our Bengali, who is moving forward with a pretty big army supply, but little does he know, oh, a 5th skirmisher is being trained here. Except for these scouts, which, take a look. I think because Capture Age hasn't caught up with the April patch, when you hover over melee units, especially mounted ones, take a look. Unknown 38. I think that's a skirmisher. That's the +2 that the Bengalis get for skirmishers. And I think the -3 is for the new Ethiopian Royal Heirs upgrade, where the Shotel warriors and I think the camel units get 3 less damage from all mounted units, whether they're melee or pierce. So I think Capture Age will eventually, 38 will be skirmishers and 39 will be mounted. I suspect. I'm not, don't quote me on this. Obviously, I'm not a developer at Capture Age, but the more I think about it, the more these two, Unknown 38, Unknown 39, let me know in the comments if I'm absolutely wrong. But look, it doesn't, there's no such identification or whatnot on any units other than mounted units. You see, there's no -2, no +2, so that's why I think it's those two specific. What do we want to call them? Bonuses, features. 2 additional town centers going up for our Bengali, a second already up for our Spaniard. Remember, they build things 30% faster, doesn't matter what, except the first town center. If you're playing on a map like Nomad, then I don't think it applies, but in all other maps, when you're building any structure, you do build them 30% faster. Oh no, skirmishers need to get the hell out of here, especially now with this +2 Bengali attack. Okay. They do retreat. They're not yet elite. They will be in a second. 8 villagers on stone for our Spaniard. 0 on stone for our Bengali. So kind of shows us the direction that our Spaniard wants to play. Whereas our Bengali's got 20 on food to the 15 of his opponent and 9 on gold to the 5. Let's see what he decides to do with all that gold. Okay, we know exactly what he's doing. He's building monks. Skirmishers shoot, skirmishers miss. Army supply 10 to 11, villager supply 51 to 53. Very, very similar. And oh man, the power of a counter unit. You cannot get close. You cannot let these skirmishers close the distance. Has no idea. Oh, now he does. Oh, blue. Because he's attacking, red has vision of the surrounding area of his units and sees the siege workshop. That is a sour little turn of events here for ACCM. I think he probably should have not done that, because otherwise, take a look. Look at the vision. Look how little it extends without the skirmishers here. Imagine a mangonel, which I'm sure is being built. Yeah. Just appearing out of nowhere. Lion deciding to take matters into his own hands. This is my hunting grounds, he says. You will not kill skirmishers without my permission. Tries to attack those crossbows. Does a good amount of damage to one of those crossbows. Remember, their HP is not great. Look at that. 15 HP of damage from that one lion. And now ACCM is starting to run amok a little bit. 19 and 20 army supply to 11. villager population, very, very similar. Ouch. And this is exactly what happens when you give your opponent vision. They build a counter siege workshop right away, and there we go. Like I mentioned, the Spanish, the Portuguese, generally, not always, but generally, you do see them rushing up to build a castle, which is why he's got 14 villagers still on stone. ACCM, 0 villagers on stone. He is going pure army, static defenses for someone else already. Has 2 relics out on the map. Amazing relic location, by the way. Very close to his base, though he hasn't seen it. The 2 monks heading north to explore, though. So they will be able to see. By the way, one of the cool things we, during one of my live streams, if you haven't watched our live streams, please feel free to join. Please feel free to watch. When a unit is behind these rock formations, these buttes, whatever you want to call them, you can't actually see the outline of the unit, which is pretty interesting. The only topographical structure in this game that actually fully hides the unit behind it, which leaves the door open for a little bit of shenanigans. Has he seen the other relic? Oh no. He probably suspects the other relic is somewhere south, and he's right. It's right next to his base. Great relic spawn location for ACCM, which is no wonder why he's already sitting on 2 relics. And now all the forward aggression is gone. Sanctity being researched for his monks as well, so their HP is going to jump up 50% to 45 from 30. And ACCM amassing his army. Massing and amassing. Light cav now out. Yeah, what else can that 2 and -3 be if not +2 against skirmishers and -3 against shotels and Ethiopian camels? Because we see them on a lot of mounted units. This one should have it too, right? Yeah, there you go. -39, -3. Not -39, unknown 39. Here we go. Conquistadors moving out. Let's see if they hide behind the butte. You see? You can't see them. You can't see. There's no outline. Man, that leaves a lot of room open for shenanigans. Just a small little thing in Age of Empires. Wall up, though, up and running. Palisade, behind the palisade houses. These light cav are not going to do much. And man, they are taking a good amount of damage from these skirmishers. My goodness. One dies. One is left with horrible HP. Skirmishers also out now, trying to shoo away these conquistadors. I think their pierce armor was reduced, right? There was some kind of change made to their pierce armor, I believe. Let's see if they attract the attention of the lion. They do. Oh no, let's follow on their journey, see if they turn around and kill them. Or kill it, rather. Yeah, I think they reduced the pierce armor by 1. I think they realized that, yes, while skirmishers do provide a decent counter, like I've been saying for the longest time, it's a counter to the conquistador, but it's not a 1-to-1 counter like a skirmisher versus a crossbow. Because these guys pack such a punch, 16 damage, and because elite skirmishers have such bad HP, 35, it wasn't exactly a fair fight. So I guess the developers figured, you know what? For the base model, not the elite. I think the elite is unchanged, but the base model, we're going to reduce the pierce armor by 1. That being said, there's enough ranged units here to cause a real amount of trouble for red. And if he's not careful, we'll lose the mangonel. Beautiful splits out of ACCM. Oh, looked like our Spaniard wanted to plop down another castle. They're both heading up to Imperial, literally 30 seconds apart. Our Spaniard will reach it first with a good amount of gold. Man, that extra 20 gold, 20 gold, 20 gold really does add up. Although he does have 23 villagers mining gold to the 19 of his opponent. ACCM also with a good stockpile of that good bullion. Husbandry for him. Cavalier, plate barding armor, and handcart for our Spaniard. Both players are in Imperial nice and early at the 33-minute mark of the game. Early-ish. Oh, no. This is a bunch of villagers that are caught out here by these light cav. At the same time, skirmishers shooing away. This is what happens when you use a natural resource as part of your wall off. But does he care? The knights are here. Blue trying to stick as close as possible to that gold pile to cut off the maneuverability of the knights, but eventually does have to enter into open territory. Remember, he doesn't see the castle until it starts getting built. And now in the open, look at him hugging all the structures, trying to minimize the area of effect. Oh, the area that red can engage into, but unfortunately, cavaliers are out. A few chunky elephant archers are out as well. They are now elite. How many of them does he have? 5 going up to 7. Parthian tactics, chemistry, all going to benefit these guys, except for this one, who's probably going to end up dying because he spawned at the worst possible location. Oh, he ends up dying. He flings his archer out onto the sands. But now the castle is here, and even though it's being besieged by 2 Spanish trebs, it is still here. It is still guarding these 6, now 5 elite elephant archers. Racer being researched for our Spaniard as well. He is to the north of the Bengali base. He is to the south of the Bengali base. He's got a random spearman in the corner. He's got 2 conquistadors over here. Our Spaniard is everywhere out on the map, and now he's entering the base with these 2 cavaliers. We'll keep an eye on those. See what kind of shenanigans they can get up to. He's also inserting himself with these 2 cavaliers here. Oh no. But at the same time, he's going to lose a lot of his main army here. Elephant Archer's not the strongest unit, but man, are they tanky with 300 HP. And Cavaliers, I believe, do no bonus damage, or rather get no bonus damage against them. So while they might not be the strongest unit, and they might need a castle to back them up, they do go down hard. 2 kills only on these Cavaliers. 5 on this one. Spearmen still doing nothing. Conquistadors still doing nothing. It looked like our chunky boys tried to waddle their way over to the base to get these trebs, but were unsuccessful. Army supply 30 to 23 in favor of our Bengali, but his economy is slowly being poked and prodded. Great reaction time here out of Capoch. Otherwise, he would have lost these 2 cavaliers to converts. Town center, though, might do the job that the monks could not. No, they skirt around the edges of it. And now let's see what our Bengali can do, getting more and more cavalry armor upgrades. He's building 6 light cav. He still has 2 of his, I guess, original crossbows. His skirmishers are gone. He's got 5 monks. I don't know where they are. They're definitely not here, right? No, 3 of them are. Well, I highlighted... Okay, they're near the town center. At least 2 of them are. That's what I'm talking about. Look at this. 4,500 HP of elephant. Capoch says, you know what? I need to get back home as soon as possible. I don't care. I'll take some extra town center fire. And the same issue I have with skirmishers taking on conquistadors. Yes, they do, in theory, counter. But again, the HP, whereas the conquistador hits harder with a big old attack of, what is it, 16. These elephants just have so much HP, which makes them so resilient, even against quote-unquote counter units. But sour loss here. 2 trebs go down. A 3rd is under attack by the other trebs. Good move out of ACCM, by the way, to switch into light cav, but at the same time, again, the Cavaliers are back. The 2 wounded Cavaliers, 14 kills for them. But he is throwing away a lot of Cavaliers to tank for these skirmishers. Plus, remember, the skirmishers are fighting uphill. Plus, remember, all Bengali elephant units receive 33%, or 25% rather, less bonus damage. So this is literally an uphill battle for our Spaniard, who's shelling away at these elephants, slowly managing to get them. The monks focusing on converting the Cavaliers. He gets both. I was going to say focusing on converting the Cavaliers instead of healing the elephants, but man, was that a good idea. Does get one reconverted, or no, it does not. He died to the castle fire. That is a fresh recruit. ACCM says, I've had enough of the raiding. I want to take this gold. I want to take the wood. I'm just going to plop down a castle and see if I can hold this position. Still 2,700 HP. 2,700 HP out of 12 units. Whereas these guys, take a look, 27 units. They have a quarter of that HP. And now he's going to have to be careful. Blue not using all of his elephants. Not sure about that. Okay. Lightcap going after the Trebs. No, maybe go after the skirmishers first. You've got 350 stone. You can repair your castle. It is on the high ground. What you can't repair is these elephants. Another attempted run by here. We'll keep an eye on this with picture-in-picture. See what kind of kill count Capoch can accomplish here. But for now, these skirmishers are dying slowly. Capoch realizes that, knows that these skirmishers are not going to be around for much longer, and retreats with his Trebs. One of them is literally on fire as it runs away. And wow, this is the power of the Bengali elephants. This is why I call them an elephant civilization through and through. A lot of people hate the Bengalis. A lot of people hate the Ratha. And for good reason. I see both sides of the argument. But one thing you cannot hate, one thing you cannot contest, is the fact that these elephants are just super duper chunky. And he did end up losing the castle. I apologize, I did miss that. He's reinforcing with more and more light cav. What is this? Illumination. So his monks are going to regenerate almost twice as fast. Red moving out again, but there is a snake of blue elephants moving forward, slithering across those hot sands. They've got to be careful, though. Don't want to sacrifice too many of them chasing cavaliers. You do move at a massive 0.99. Range 7, range 8. ACCM, man, has he had enough of the raiding, so he is building a very defensive castle. Let's see how this works out for him. One convert. Two converts on the healthy ones. Wow, two converts on the Cavaliers, but does end up losing all of his monks. Not sure that's the trade that he really wanted. Although resource-wise, not terrible at all. Oh, gotta be careful. Goes after the one on fire. Why the hell not? It goes down. One Treb less for our Spaniard. Not that, by the way, there's anything to Treb here. A few archery ranges, some farms, and some stables. The castle is gone. ACCM has replaced it with two very defensive castles. And now he's moving forward. He's got, how many? 32 elephants in the production tab. 6,600 HP of elephant. Let's see what kind of damage they can do. Okay, they are focusing down finally the Cavaliers. Oh, get your butt to the high ground. Waddle that adorable wrinkly butt up to the hill. And man, that HP. Look, they still have over 5,000 HP. And if you don't think HP matters, man, use this game as an example as to why they do. Again, not the strongest unit in the world. Maxed out, it does attack only on an 11. Not a lot of useful bonuses here, spearmen and so forth, but because technically it is a mounted unit, there's that Shotel Warrior, Royal Heirs -3. But they are wrecking everything, and now they can still escape. They still have 5,500 HP on the original ones that were here, but Spanish Paladins are out. Supremacy as well. Let's take a look at this villagers. Why do you think I call them paramilitary? Look at them. 80 HP. Attack on a 9. 3 melee. 4 pierce armor. That is ridiculous. But, you know, it's better than a villager with supremacy. Cavaliers. Converted Cavaliers. Paladins. Looks like they got a few villager kills here, but do end up dying. Now ACCM returns the raiding favor. Looks like there's blue dots everywhere. Cavaliers shooing away Lumberjack. One light cav trying to catch that villager. Dies to the fire of the castle. Where are his 4 Trebs? I feel like these trebs have been in production for a long time, and sure, they're coming from castles that are far, far away. A long, long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, ACCM built 4 trebs, and now they're finally making their way forward. Doesn't care if the elephants take our town center fire. There's a bunch of priests behind here, 3 of them, that are going to be healing them up nice and quick. Look at that, back up to 6,700 HP. And how the hell are you supposed to deal with this? The entire Spanish army's HP, when you take out the villagers, is 2,000. And these guys are on a hill, and they take less bonus damage. And they're just, they're here. And the Spaniard is technically, again, building the counter army. And that HP is going down. But at the same time, Castle is under attack. This has a an air of finality to it, doesn't it? 4 trebs shelling away at this castle in the center position. How many games have we seen end where a castle in the center position falls, exposing the ooey gooey center of a base? What kind of production facilities does he have down south? A lot of archery ranges. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 archery ranges out of his 9 are right here. If you want to count this one, then it's 8. And here come the villagers with supremacy. Absolutely love this out of Capoch. Why the hell not? You have 140 villagers. Look at them attacking this treb. Will they get it? No, they don't. The elephant archers do manage to pick them all off. The pathing for the villagers, they had to go a long way around to get to those trebs. And there we go. What did I say? This push had the aroma of finality around it. Once you bust through this castle, then there's literally nothing to stop the trebs. And there's nothing that our Spaniard could have done with how many. You can't fight with 18 skirmishers against 38 elephants. Look at that HP, 9,000 HP. And the rating was fantastic. A random barracks being built here for our Bengali. The rating was absolutely fantastic from our Spaniard. And right up until the end, I think he killed more villagers except for those those supremacy villagers. But man, if you missed it the first time, 80 HP, 9 attack. Plus, look at the bonuses. Building +3, stone defense 6. This is why I was talking about them destroying walls and town centers. 3 melee, 4 pierce armor. That's better than a lot of other units in the game. Are they not a paramilitary organization or what? In any event, ACCM doubles down on the one unit that he knows his opponent really can't counter. I mean, sure, with quantity, you absolutely can counter anything in this game. Don't get me wrong. He builds 20 paladins, 30 elite skirmishers. This elephant force is done. But throw in some monks. Now throw in some halbs, some converted paladins, converted cavaliers, as we saw on the other side of the map. And overall, wow, what an absolute crazy, crazy push here by our Bengali. And by the way, with the converts, has a almost goth-like population of 201. So how many monks does he have? 4. Okay. So that just shows you the longevity of these units, whereas Red has to replenish his over and over and over again, because again, 35 HP is basically like throwing a napkin into a bowl of water. It will just melt and dissolve and fall apart. And that's probably not the best example. Like putting cotton candy in water. 35 HP is nothing, but when your unit has 300 HP, you can babysit them. Look at this, 108 kills. 22 of which were villagers. Probably right there towards the end with supremacy. But these elephants, again, don't attack strong, but do they have longevity, especially when backed by 4 monks, 3 of which are here. I wonder where the 4th one is. Probably somewhere on the map. He probably forgot about him. Let's just do let's be lazy and just do this. No, it's not nowhere here. There you are. Where are you? Gonna hit the old space bar in the computer. There he is. Behind this archery range. But whereas our Spaniard has to keep throwing units and over and over and over again at our Bengali, and to build that many units, you need infrastructure. And now the castle's going to fall. He's got 650 stone. He can, in theory, repair it for a while, but 4 trebs are going to basically demolish this castle very, very quickly. And once his infrastructure falls, he cannot rebuild the army that needs to be rebuilt 6 or 7 times to get rid of these elephants, and decides to tap out, even though, again, take a look at his resources, 137 villagers to 141. So his villager supply is not bad at all. And it is nice and secure here. You know there's not going to be any raiding with these elephants, because by the time they waddle their big wrinkly butts over here, your villagers can have a lot of time to react. You have got a whole bunch of industry here. What you don't have is structures. And yes, with 2,000 wood and with the Spanish bonus of building structures 30% faster, you can, in theory, produce more archery ranges, even if you lose all of these, because it will take time to lose these. Capoch instead saying, you know what, I just can't replenish my army fast enough, and now that this castle is down, I mean, Isaac thinks that raiding is not realistic, but who knows? He has 2 paladins, he's got 34 light cav in production, and even though the Bengalis don't get a hussars, light cav will do the job just fine, especially when there's no static defense anywhere here. So it does, maybe I'm wrong, it does kind of look like Blue, if he does lose this army, was planning on transitioning into more of a raiding army. Capoch, I guess, gets wind of that, decides, you know what, I can't handle this, and taps out. Let's take a look. 200 skirmishers against 90 light cav. APM for both players, not the most stressful game economically. Look how similar. Relic gold basically made all the difference. That 3,000 is the difference here. So our Spaniard, more wood. Our Bengali, more food. Gold count, about 2,500 more for our Bengali, which went into the elephants. And then stone count, he also has enough for 1.5 extra castles. Not that he really needs it. He's the one putting on the aggression here and choosing mobile units, although mobile with an asterisk because it is an elephant unit and not a light cav. So mobile-ish units to static defense. And I guess Capoch just thinking he does not have the time to start replenishing, because number one, you have to build the structures, and where do you build them? He has no space to build them to the left, so he's going to have to build them here. This is the only area he has space if he wants to put down another 5 or 6 archery ranges or stables, because he does have enough gold for more paladins, but then you have to actually start training your units. And then if you don't want to lose them, you have to clump them. You can't send 5 skirmishers into this. You can't send 3 paladins. You have to build up your army. So first you have to build the structure, then you have to build up your army, then you have to hope that his army is in a position where you can actually attack them and not like here on a hill, which is completely ridiculous when you remember. Again, on a hill, you take 25% less damage from units on lower elevation. And on top of that, they already, Bengali elephant units, take 25% less bonus damage, period. So it is just a hill a little bit too high for Capoch to climb. I guess realizing that he just does not have the time right now. If this was 1 treb, maybe, but this is enough. These are enough trebs that this entire archery range infrastructure is about to get demolished. I would even tell ACCM, forget about the castle. Absolutely forget about the castle. Start shelling down these archery ranges. But in any event, didn't really need my advice. Capoch, realizing that he is his clock has run out. This position is unassailable, especially with the monks just healing these elephants over and over again. Again, take a look, 8,700 HP that he needs to get rid of with these units that have each one 35 HP. All of his skirmishers altogether have 500 HP. Even when you add the paladins on the field of battle, it goes up to 1/5, a fifth of what our Bengali has. Actually, no, a 7th of what our Bengali has. Even worse. And that's not including the trebs. And so Capoch just says, you know what, I can't fight this. I'm going to live to fight another day. ACCM takes the big W. But wait, before we GG to both players, let's take a look at the kill count. Something I forgot to do. Our Bengali with the units that have been around for a long time. 350 kills, 238 for our Spaniard. Not a surprise. I mean, again, you have a unit with 35 HP attacking a unit with 300 HP. And unless you have some kind of Haufnitze plus 300 bonus attack, you're going to die to that. So on the whole, our Bengali did manage to get more villagers, I think just because of the supremacy villagers that attacked these Trebs. Without these 22 villager kills, he'd actually be at 40 villager kills to the 47 of our Spaniard, who was raiding quite well. Not gonna lie, he raided so well, in fact, that ACCM felt the need to place these backward-facing castles, and that's what took the Trebs so freaking long to get to the front lines. So ACCM, with a brilliant use of the Bengalis, a brilliant holding of this hill, perfectly placed to attack 2 castles, all of the infrastructure. What an absolute boss hill this is for the Bengalis. Takes the big W, but GG to both players. Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips and make sure to subscribe and enable notifications so that you're notified of my latest uploads.